Now, the US state of Florida is waking up this Wednesday after Donald Trump used his home there to paint himself as the victim of a political witch hunt. It was, by all accounts, an extraordinary 24 hours in American politics. For the first time in US history, a former president was arrested, fingerprinted, and charged with 34 felonies. Donald Trump then flew from New York back to Florida, where he gave a defiant speech in front of his most loyal supporters.
And I never thought anything like this could happen in America. Never thought it could happen. The only crime that I have committed is to fearlessly defend our nation from those who seek to destroy it.
Well, standing by in Palm Beach, Florida, is our US correspondent Ketavan Gorjestani. And Ketavan, we heard an extract of his speech there, but just give us a sense as to the tone of what Trump had to say and what his main message was as well.
Well, for Donald Trump, these charges that were brought by the district attorney's office in Manhattan were persecution, not an investigation. Donald Trump really slamming those charges as purely, as you said, a political witch hunt. He went after the Manhattan DA. He went after the judge's family, and he basically painted this, as he has in the past when he has had legal cases or investigations against him, as a political witch hunt, as election interference, because of course he is running for the 2024 election. But really, this speech, though there were
Unfortunately, I think we have lost
Manhattan District Attorney's office.
We hear you now, Ketavan. Go ahead.
The Manhattan District. So, as I was saying, there were a direct criticism at what was happening in Manhattan, but also he went after all of the other possible legal cases that can come against him, starting with Georgia or the federal cases that are currently being investigated. But most importantly, which was very interesting about this speech, was that it sounded very much like so many of the different speeches that I've heard him give at rallies across the country. It was talking about the Russia hoax, about Hillary Clinton's emails, about Hunter Biden's laptops, about the state of this nation, and of course about the 2020 election that he says was stolen. Donald Trump still saying that he was the legitimate winner of that election. And so it really sounded like a campaign speech more than a defense or a counterattack on what happened in Manhattan hours earlier.
And Ketavan, Donald Trump may face other possible charges as well as this one in New York. He is, though, still running for the presidency. So give us a sense then of what the next few months may look like. What's likely to happen now?
Well, in the short term, it seems that this is working out very well for him. Yesterday on this bridge that leads to Mar-a-Lago, there were hundreds of supporters here to show him support, to say that they were standing by him. And the people I spoke to really said that while they were very angry at what happened in New York, they were also very confident and even more mobilized because they felt that this was unjust and that the Democrats were going after Donald Trump because he was seen by them, at least, as the clear winner for 2024. It's also, in the short term, very good for Donald Trump for fundraising purposes because Donald Trump has been raising quite a bit of money since the news of the indictment broke last week. Donald Trump's campaign saying that they've fundraised more than $8 million in just those few days after the indictment. So in the short term, at least, it's working out well. But as we've mentioned, there are several other cases coming. We are expecting possibly in Georgia charges to be brought in the alleged attempt to overturn the results of that state in the 2020 election. And of course, the federal cases, the mishandling of classified documents right here at Mar-a-Lago, as well as the January 6th investigation into his role in the attack on the U.S. Capitol. So the question is going to be how long this plays positively for him, how long he can bank on these legal cases and really rally his troops, and what that is going to look like going forward in his campaign for 2024. How are these legal cases going to influence his campaign? Because these cases are going to be developing right alongside the 2024 campaign.